Hello and welcome to the Touchline here on Touchline SA as well as Touchline Podcast on YouTube. My name is Oarabile Diphoko and I'll be your host for today's show. And as usual, I never ever come alone. But before I introduce our guest, I hope you guys are watching the Premier League right now. There's a game currently ongoing that is West Brom who have welcomed a Southampton side to the Hawthorns. They are currently leading 2-0 and the second half has just started. But now on the touchline today, I do have Mr. Chad Peterson with me here. Chad, welcome to Touchline.
Good evening.
How are
Good evening.
you?
I'm okay. It's been a hectic April, but we're alive.
We are grateful to be alive because the RIPs that we have been seeing on our social medias have come as a shock to all of us. But let's not start with some bad news. Let's start with match week 31 of the Premier League. Just to talk about a couple of the games, the shock, obviously, result of this weekend has to be Manchester City losing to a 10-man Leeds United side. How did you find that game?
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's karma. It's karma for them disallowing Jude's goal.
Uh-huh.
They deserve it. It's okay.
I mean, and
I've
also
been
just look,
saying my boy Lucas
yeah,
Radebe has gloves.
claps 3 times. Wow. I was not ready for that one. But I wanted to get into the conversation about a lot of people that I've been noticing talking about Leeds running out of steam. It didn't look to be the case, especially on Saturday when they were even one man down. What do you think about that?
People are saying they're running out of steam because they in that disbelief that, you know, they're not meant to be in the position they're in.
Mm-hmm.
It's still unprecedented. It's still shocking that a team that was newly promoted fit
Yeah.
in so seamlessly and made an impression in the Premier League. So a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people are just haters. I mean, they didn't spend money. They bought what, Rafinha, like one player. Everyone else came up with them,
Yeah.
and Marcelo Bielsa said when he took over, I'm not buying anyone. This team
Well,
has
he bought
been with me.
Moreno. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to show you that this team can play.
Yeah, and they
And
and they
look at
have.
look at what's happened.
They have. I mean, we look at the likes of Stuart Dallas, who got ultimately the first goal, as well as Jack Harrison also coming into the picture lately this season. A lot of them, all the goals have just been spread out throughout the team. And Patrick Bamford is a name that we haven't mentioned in a long time. I mean, who needs a number 9?
Leeds play for each other. That's
Mm,
the awesome thing. They play for each
yeah.
other, and Marcelo Bielsa's done well to introduce a style of play
Hmm.
that means that whoever is out, the next person can just fit in
I mean, that is
and do the job.
absolutely. That is so true. Unlike, other teams that heavily rely on just one player, Leeds and
Tottenham.
Manchester City. Yeah, this bombs already. Woo, there's no tree big enough here. The shade. Yo.
Skis.
um,
I had
yeah.
I had to. I'm sorry.
You
It
you
was
threw it
waiting. It was in the
there.
chamber. It was in the chamber.
It really was, and you loaded it up and hoed it our way. But looking at Manchester City, they are now 11 points, ahead of Manchester United, and also just need 11 more points to actually clinch the title. I don't see this one slipping away. They are not a Liverpool side that's going to let it, just run away from them. 74 points is what they have. Manchester United 63, 11 points difference, man. The Premier League top four is also heating up. Looking at the top four, actually, we have the likes of Liverpool, the likes of Chelsea, the likes of Leicester, as well as now West Ham, who are now being added to the mix. Chad, who do you see in the top four from those teams? Also, Everton have 2 games in hand. They win those, they could easily be in the top four.
It's tough. I don't see West Ham pulling through to the top four. I don't
Reason?
see them making the top four. I see them as a team in good form,
Mm-hmm.
but not a team capable of making the top four. Um, Chelsea, after getting club five-star club, you know, 5 finger discount, I still see them making a comeback from that and
Uh-huh.
making the top four
Mm-hmm.
at fourth. If they don't,
Okay.
it's a
And
disappointment in themselves.
oh,
Leicester, I want Leicester in the top four. I
listen,
want
Leicester's
Leicester in the
pulling.
top four.
They are currently
First
put in
and
the
second.
ghost of last season now. Like last season, they did the same with those injuries, no backups. And that's another problem I see with Leicester City. They have this amazing ensemble of players, but they just don't have backups for when the injuries start piling up. And that's where the issues are going to be for Leicester.
No, Leicester are punching above their weight, and we
Hmm.
must accept that they're punching above their weight. We have to accept that they're doing that.
Yeah.
And kudos to the team, kudos to all of that. Leicester are the one championship winning team that you
Hmm.
don't expect to be up there. And they're there, you
And
know,
they're there. Every season, they seem to be there
and
now.
they're there. It's, you don't expect them there, but they're there. And now you see it gives them a good cushion because no one expects you to be, you know, challenging for top honors.
Yeah.
No one, they see you as a good team, but never one that can make the next step.
Mm.
And it helps them in that sense because
Yeah.
the recruitment drive is different. The
Mm.
players they get is different.
Hmm.
Um, and at the end of the day, you always have to give props to Leicester. James Justin was playing in League Two.
And look at him now. Look
James
at
Justin
him
was
now.
playing in League Two. Now we're talking
Mm.
about James Justin for England.
Challenging for top four even. I think something that he probably had in the back of his mind because he was thinking, I still have to work my way up, and look where he is.
He's not even working his way up. If you're coming from 3 divisions down to play in the top league, you're happy to be there.
Mm.
You're happy to be there. You don't, there's no thing of, okay, now I'm going to try for England. Yeah, your
Mm.
ambitions change, but
Yeah.
I'm happy to be here. The Premier League is an opportunity of a lifetime for a lot of people.
Hmm. True.
You have
And
all
they,
this money
yeah.
spent everywhere.
That is true. You have to take advantage with regards to that. And Chad, just looking at that top four right now, currently we're looking at the fact that Leicester is a third with 56 points. We have a Chelsea side in
Mhm.
fifth, Liverpool 52, West Ham with 55. It's going to be an unbelievable run for top four. But then now looking also at some of the results of the weekend, and why I'm focusing on these is because there was so much controversy behind some of these games. And I'm looking especially at the Fulham and Wolves game where Adama Traore finally got a goal after 14 months without one. What do you think about VAR now? Is it getting better? Is it getting worse?
I'm still upset. I'm still upset at Ronaldo being disallowed a goal for Portugal. I am so upset. Like, I felt the pain of 3 Portuguese Ronaldo fanboys
Mm,
because this guy couldn't get his goal like checked for VAR.
VAR. Mm,
But I feel like VAR is misused, and that's why we have a problem with it. You know,
yeah.
it's misused, it's overused. Look, it's there. Sorry. I'm just adjusting
It's
myself now. This is
and it's
serious.
going nowhere, unfortunately. It's really not going anywhere. And half the time, I think some of the decisions are right, and the continuance of them seem to also be right. But unfortunately, there are some decisions that are questionable to say the least. I mean, all of us can see that it's not meant to be, but yet VAR will still give the decision anyway.
Yeah, there's a big problem also on
Hmm.
how it's interpreted. You
Yes.
know, I don't like how they call offsides, for instance. You know,
Ooh, or how long they take to bring up that flag because by the time they do, there's been at least 5 or 6 passes between the players before they bring up the flag for offside.
exactly. And imagine not being allowed a goal because of your pinky nail.
Or the tip of your hair.
You know, imagine how many disallowed goals Zlatan would have because he has an extremely long nose.
Oh, let's go there. And that seems to be, I mean, it's happening right now. I mean, we want to laugh at these situations, but this is dire and detrimental to some people's season. I mean, we're looking at just last season with the whole Aston Villa and Sheffield United game where Aston Villa literally stayed up because of the era of VAR and goal line technology. We're
Mm.
talking about the futures of clubs with regards to this, and it seems to just be getting worse.
Exactly. I feel that look, the referees are undermined
Mm,
um, with the overuse of VAR. VAR
yes,
is good, but use VAR to
mm,
help a refereeing decision.
yes,
You know, don't
mm,
force it upon the referee. If a referee
yeah.
is unsure, go to VAR and check. Sharp.
Let 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 them go check. Speaking about referees going to VAR and checking, another controversial moment of the weekend has to be the game that was played last night between Spurs and Manchester United. Son,
Fergie
do you think it was
fan,
a do you think it was a foul? Disallowed
the
goal
Scott
on the foul
McTominay
on France?
incident,
Yes.
it's tough. I don't think so.
Hmm.
I don't think so. Like, okay, in layman's terms, yes, it's
Hmm.
a foul. You know,
Yes.
you hit the player's face. It's a foul
Uh-huh.
in
Yeah.
layman's terms. But
But
if you
also,
saw how he did it, Son was
uh-huh.
gonna grab onto his shirt
Hmm.
and he basically shooed Son's hand away and it hit his face.
So here's the thing that I struggle to understand about that decision because in a similar situation like that, a hand across the face is a yellow card foul. So if he had found that
Yes,
that was a foul and Scott McTominay was already on a yellow, surely he should have given a second yellow.
he should have, but I
Mm,
don't think it was a foul.
yeah,
Forgive me. I don't think if it was a foul. It wasn't intentional.
yeah,
It's part of the game. We've seen
mm,
players get away with much worse, and it
that,
was
that
okay.
yeah, that is very
So
very
so if you're doing that, how many set piece incidents are you gonna need to relook?
yeah
Because
because
when
of the
you're in the set
physicality,
piece, it's tough,
yes, of all of that. Yeah,
you know. And I
it becomes
mean,
a
the
problem.
guy literally shooed a hand away.
I love how you make it just he just shooed it away like it was such a small little thing. Just shoot him
Yeah, it was
away.
like, hey, it was that.
Pass up.
Literally. And,
Uh,
it was a great goal other than that. It was a
and
great goal.
it got taken away, unfortunately. And also with that defeat, that now means that Mourinho has lost more games in a single season than he ever has in his entire career. That was Tottenham's 10th defeat of the season. And also with that, the hopes of top four seem to be slipping away. But another question I want to, add into the mix to close off this chapter for the Premier League is what happens if Spurs do not make top four? Does Harry Kane still stay?
He has to.
He has to.
He's not. He's a Tottenham player. He must deal with it.
He's 28 years old. He cannot be trying to stay in a team that is not winning anything.
Yeah, but this is his ceiling. It's his ceiling. I'm sorry. I don't care what anyone says. Harry Kane is overrated.
Please elaborate on this, because this is a man that gets 20 plus goals every season since we probably have known him. So I need to understand where the overration comes from.
Look, he bangs. He bangs. I get it.
That's what they need in the Premier League. Yes.
Yeah. He scores goals.
And he assists now. He stepped up in that aspect.
Yeah, that's also something new. But there's a lot of times where Harry Kane's presence is detrimental.
Mm-hmm.
Harry Kane kind of, I know it sounds weird, but he kind of sucks out of other players. You'll find that sometimes Son can't express himself. Lucas Moura can't express himself freely.
Mm-hmm.
Even Gareth Bale suffered for a while.
Yeah, but we know Gareth Bale though.
It's still the Harry Kane show, and that causes more harm than good for Tottenham.
Yeah,
there's been instances like this before, where you have a talismanic striker, and yes, he's popping in with goals for you, but it doesn't work because everything else loses. I mean, it's even happened, it's even happened with Man U when Zlatan was the striker.
Was there? Yes, when Zlatan was there, yeah.
He banged 28 goals for the team, but he's cost the team as well.
Yeah.
That's why they brought in Romelu Lukaku.
Wow, that did not turn out so well, but it was a good run while he had it at the time. You know what? With Harry Kane, I guess that's kind of what happens when you sign a 7-year deal, something I'd never heard of up until he signed a deal, something like that. So now, like you said, he's, got himself into a corner. But also, if Harry Kane wants to leave, I can assure you there are countless clubs that will come knocking. And with that being said, that is the wrap up for match week 31. Like I said, West Brom and Southampton are still currently playing. And then later on today, we have a Brighton side that welcome Carlo Ancelotti's Everton side to their hometown. So hopefully you stay up for that one and enjoy it. But now we are moving on to one of the biggest games of the weekend, El Classico. And El Classico that actually might be Messi's last one.
It's about time he leaves. It's about time he leaves.
Do you think he's gonna go though? I mean, the board is gone. Completely new.
He has to. No! Board or not, he has to go.
What do you want him to end up? Do you think he's gonna go to America?
You know what? I still hope and pray that one day Leo Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo will give us a GOAT season.
Ooh, wow, those friends. Yo, I hope every night. I hope every night, 12 o'clock, you're out there shining impempe and everything to pray for that, because, wow, the footballing nation will literally want something like that to happen.
We need it, but it's never going to happen.
Yeah,
it's never going to happen.
And I guess this was his last El Clasico. He bows out without a goal or an assist since 2018. So Real Madrid held on for the victory, eventually in the end getting those quick goals via Benzema and Toni Kroos. And then Barcelona pulled one back, but unfortunately it wasn't meant to be. They have now extended into their winning streak. That is 98 wins for Real Madrid and 96 for Barcelona. Up until next season, I guess Real Madrid will have the bragging rights because this is the first time they have beaten Barcelona home and away in a long period of time. That is El Clasico. Now we move on to Serie A, where Inter Milan are closing in on their first Scudetto since the year 2010. How do you feel about that team? How do you feel about Antonio Conte and what he's done there and what he's ensembled?
I love Antonio Conte. I love Romelu Lukaku, but everyone else at Inter can sit down.
Ah, you make it sound like he plays alone. What about Lautaro Martinez? What about Hakimi? What I mean, there's so many names to mention.
Oh yeah. Special mention to Achraf Hakimi, but
You know,
it's
uh-huh.
Juve are at a rebuilding phase as well.
Ooh, they
Andrea
are.
Pirlo's the coach,
They're so
but
shaky.
AC Milan is also not used to being back at the top. They're also rebuilding, got a young team. Inter seemed like the more settled bunch.
Yeah.
And, they're just taking advantage of that situation. But it's nothing really great to look at yet, And
Dad, you are
yes,
just
it would be good.
toying tonight.
It's nothing really great to look at. Look, you have Antonio Conte at the helm. Antonio Conte is going to give you a trophy.
Yes. Yes.
That's why you hire an Antonio Conte. He's going to give you a trophy wherever he is.
Mm-hmm.
And Inter taking advantage of, other team situations. I feel like it's near the end for Ronaldo at Juve.
Yes. But
I
he
feel like
won't
it
be
was
leaving next season, though.
he,
It's been confirmed that they will keep him.
yeah, look, he has to stay, but the problem with Ronaldo is he won't take up that mentoring role that he's supposed to be taking up.
I think
He
he
won't.
already has. I think he already has. I mean, look at the likes of just how he's so supportive to Federico Chiesa, who's been doing really well. McKennie from America, the youngster who's also been doing well. I mean, they've spoken so highly of the fact that he has personally literally take them under their wing. So I think it's already started.
No, but what I mean by that is he's not going to relax.
Oh no. When have you ever
And
known him to relax?
that's harmful. That's harmful because he needs to understand that he must relax. He
Mm-mm.
needs to. You can do how much exercise? You can go through the best thing. You can buy the best incubation chambers.
Mm-hmm.
But even LeBron is starting to learn that he must chill a bit.
Yeah. Maybe next season will be the chilling season then. Let's see how that one goes because right now it seems to us and everybody else around the sporting nation that Inter Milan will be taking the Scudetto this year because there are 11 games in a row unbeaten, successful victories. They are 11 points clear. They only need 14 more points and with 8 games to go, it seems to be that Inter Milan will be taking Ah, so with that said, we've wrapped up the European kind of chat for this Touchline podcast. Now we're moving back into Africa and into the CAF Champions League. Wow, man, we've created history. We have made history. Kaiser Chiefs and Mamelodi Sundowns both into the quarterfinals. The first time in South African history that two teams from the same country have made it.
That's amazing. That is
Mm-hmm.
amazing. Chiefs are lucky that
Yeah,
Africa still looks at
trust.
head to head.
Uh-huh. Trust. They
They
are
are so
lucky.
lucky that Africa, but we don't get African decisions on our side a lot of the time.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always against
So,
us. For once, it went the right way.
so for now, we'll take the small victories. Also, special
Yeah.
mention to Pirates.
Yes.
Pirates are also up there doing the things in the Confed Cup.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have to
Yes.
give them a special mention. But
Oh,
as much as
definitely.
this topic is good, it breaks my heart
How? What's going on tonight? You just,
because
you just, you're so unhappy. Like today, what's thinking? It's like you ate nails for breakfast.
no, I wish, but
Okay.
I'm so
Yes.
unhappy because my national team, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I want to just be able to wear a Bafana shirt on touchline with pride, and I can't do that.
I guess the closest you'll get to that shirt is those colors you're currently wearing right now.
I know Brazil is also in my heart, but why can't we translate our success on the continental scene with our clubs
Yeah.
to our footballers in the Bafana jersey? Why can't we do that? You know,
Yeah.
what is
It's a
so
really
wrong?
big problem. It really is a big problem. Now, obviously, with the Bafana coaching role being vacant, who do you see slotting in there, or who would you rather see slotting in there? Because obviously names are going to be thrown into the hat now.
Everyone knows who I want.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone knows who I want. I want
Yes.
Benny. I want
Ah,
Benny.
ah, ah.
I want us in the 18 area. I want a young coach who can take us forward, but I want Benny to do the job in peace.
Benny
That's what I
comes in
want.
with violence. Benny comes with violence wherever he goes. He's a passionate man, so there's no peace that will ever be there. And I think that's going to be the biggest problem with regards to that because he is so outspoken. He will literally take anybody on whenever.
And he should. He should. That's
Gladly
the
so.
thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing. He needs to be able, you need someone who can tell these players
Hmm.
straight. I won't say what because it's a family friendly show, but
They
you
can tell them
need
poo
that type of
poo.
man, who will tell these guys the straight facts, tell them the truth, you know,
True. Very true.
tell them what they need to hear. And Benny is the only guy who can do it, in my
Mm.
opinion.
So
You
that's
know,
the only
I
name you're
have
throwing.
a soft spot for Carlos Queiroz, very soft spot.
Can
But
he do the job? Regardless of your spot, can he do the job?
he can, but it's a high price to pay
Mm.
at a big risk. Get Benny. Benny wants a job. Benny's passionate.
Well,
Benny's
we're
young.
gonna
Benny
we're
has a
gonna have
future.
Benny has a feature at Amazulu right now, and they seem to be doing rather well. So let's keep him there. Let's see how he wraps up that role before we start looking at other opportunities for him. Stop
He must
shaking
come
your
now.
head.
He must come now. Bele will do the job. Bele will take over and Bele will make them great too. They have a good coaching team.
Mm.
They
But
have a
look at
good
it this way.
coaching team. They can live without Benny at Bafana is think about your country.
I mean, look at it this way. Right now, we really don't need Bafana Bafana. We haven't qualified for anything, so he can take his time with that team. We will see him at the end of the season. But before we get carried away with regards to that, we were talking about Cap still, and I want to wrap that chat up with regards to the fact that Mamelodi Sundowns and Kaizer Chiefs could end up facing each other in the quarter-finals. But we're going to have to see when the draw happens on the 30th of April. We get to see who they will be taking on and who their opponents might be. And looking at Orlando Pirates, like you said in the Confed Cup, they got a comfortable 3-0 victory yesterday, making them the top of Group A. With 2 games to go, they seem to be in a really good position with regards to that. Now, Chad, I want to wrap up a touchline here, just looking at what's to come this week. It is the second leg of the Champions League, and as we all know, the first legs were perfect.
I
PSG will be
love that.
welcoming, yes, PSG will be welcoming Bayern to the Parc des Princes. We have Chelsea and Porto as well as Liverpool welcoming Real Madrid. And in the last game, we also have Dortmund and Man City. Now, the aggregates are there. Chelsea have won 2-0. They take that one into the second leg, whereas Paris Saint-Germain take a 3 away goal back home. Also, Dortmund with that one goal they got, I can assure you, with Man City losing this weekend, they don't have a chance anymore. Man City is angry. So it's going to be a really good game, as well as Real Madrid and Liverpool. Looking at those results right now, who do you see in the semis? Top of your head. PSG, Bayern.
PSG. I
Chelsea,
want
Porto.
PSG there. I told you before, Poch deserves a trophy. Jordan deserves a trophy.
So does
I
Thomas
want to
Tuchel
see.
trophy.
I want to see Neymar and Xavi Simons doing a Millie Rock together at the end of it
The
all.
only, the only thing that Neymar needs to worry about right now is not getting another red card or another injury, because wow, he has had plenty this season. So
Stop hating on
PSG,
the man.
Bayern. I'm not hating. He does this to himself. He gives us the
I
platform
don't
for us to
care.
be able
I
to speak
don't
like this.
care.
All
Ginga,
right, PSG.
Brazilian talent comes with groove. Just like
It's that.
Ibiski comes with its own
It's that
ratchetry.
shirt. It's that shirt that's giving you too much confidence. Moving on to the next game, Chelsea, Porto. Which one do you see advancing?
Straightforward, Chelsea.
All right, Real Madrid, Liverpool. Who do you see advancing from that?
I don't think Liverpool have the legs for comeback. I don't want to say that though, because they did come back from a 3-0 to win the Champions League. We all
I mean,
want Liverpool.
they can come back from a 3-0, but we also know that Liverpool at home have been rather leaky. They can score 3, and Real Madrid only needs to score 1. And then it's a bit
Exactly.
tricky after that. Yeah, so we know they have that defensive, capability, and it's going to be very hectic with regards to that. And also looking at the last game, that is Dortmund and Man City. Who do you see taking that one?
BVB.
How? Like, wait, like the game or like the actual aggregate?
BVB. Dortmund is
that
going through.
that's bold. That is bold. Very bold.
Dortmund is going through. And I'm going to tell you why. They
Mhm.
disallowed Jude's goal. And they've been cocky there, that blue side of
Oh,
Manchester. They've
they
been
have every
cocky.
right to be. Oh,
And
no,
and an angry Erling is a dangerous Erling.
I
An angry
agree.
Erling is a dangerous Erling. The wrath of Odin will fall upon them.
So that is what we will be looking at this coming week. Tomorrow is PSG and Bayern, as well as Chelsea and Porto. And then on Wednesday, we're going to be looking at Liverpool and Real Madrid, as well as Dortmund and Man City. Also, do not forget, that other league that, most people tend to forget, that being the Europa League, is also in action this week. Slavia Prague and Arsenal. The aggregate there is a 1-1,
Oh,
as well as Manchester United Granada. Manchester United having won 2-0, and also another game that is seemingly just as exciting as Roma and Ajax. Roma with the upper hand on that one. Looking at those fixtures, Chad, Slavia Prague, Arsenal, who do you see advancing?
Arsenal need to kick out the races, but Arsenal are disappointing me.
Arsenal really disappointed, because we really thought in that first leg they really could have gotten it right. And then what did they do? They let it go in the dying minutes of the game. So you think Arsenal might
You
just
can't
nick it
count
this
on
time?
Arsenal. You can't count
Don't
on
bet on
Arsenal.
Arsenal.
You can't. But
Okay,
we have to
this
for the
week.
greater good of the game.
Hmm.
That's the problem. The problem is that Arsenal have more at stake than a Europa League place. This is for the
Yes,
good of the game. You need to
yes,
win for the greater good of the game, and you're not
for
doing that.
everybody. Seems to be an issue that we're seeing right now with Arsenal. And then obviously looking at Manchester United and Granada, they have a 2-0 advantage there. Do you see Manchester United progressing?
Straightforward.
Okay, perfecto. Roma
Straight.
and Ajax, Roma 2-1.
It's tantalizing. It's
Hmm.
tantalizing because
Hmm.
Roma Roma were the better team, but not by much.
Yes,
And Ajax at home at the arena, they have a point to prove, and they're going to prove it.
I
I think
guess
Ajax is
we
going to scrape through.
Oh, I love the words scrape through. Just make it.
I think Ajax is gonna scrape through. I
Okay.
really do.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here on Touchline Podcast, you heard Mr. Chad Peterson with all of his predictions. Chad, how was your sporting weekend? Are you good? Is your heart happy? Are you ready for the week?
It helps cure my pain.
That's all I
It
need.
helps
That
cure
is
my
all
pain.
I need.
I'm still amazed that Fergie time existed.
Hmm.
I'm still amazed that Fergie time is still a thing. Like, can we not make Fergie time a thing?
Fergie time will always be a thing, man. I mean, it's accustomed to football right now. That's what we do. That seems to be a thing.
Fergie time cannot be a thing anymore. 90 plus 6. 90 plus 6. Come on.
Listen, we've had 90 plus 7 at some stage in the seasons and previous seasons where I remember Raheem Sterling scored a 97th minute winner against Bournemouth in the season they won the Premier League. So, Fergie time has and always will be around. Mr. Chad Peterson, thank you so much for joining me here on the Touchline podcast. I hope you have a brilliant week ahead. I hope your Champions League predictions do come true as well as your Europa League. But for the rest of the Touchline family, please do continue to follow, like, subscribe, comment on our socials. That is Touchline SA on Instagram and Twitter, as well as Touchline Podcast on YouTube. Mr. Chad Peterson, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.